Hey guys, so we're going to watch this together basically. The reason why I'm not allowing the music to play is because, YouTube is very anal with music. And now, these are not the guys who were arrested, but this is the type of dancing that they actually do on the New York City trains. And, generally, they don't hurt people or anything. It's just them showing their talents. And, they put the hat out and they ask for money if you want to give it to them. It's a cool form of panhandling.
Yo, what up, nyajas? It's your boy Philochko here. And the clip you just saw it was people dancing on the New York City train. You can see it a whole lot. They do a lot of cool moves. They do a lot of interesting things. But to be honest, some people do find it annoying. And, they ask for money, but it's panhandling and all this stuff. So, off the bat, even though it's cool, a lot of people know it's pretty illegal. And that, in general, they shouldn't be doing it. In general. Most people know that. Most Americans know that when they're on a train and they see them doing this. But sometimes it's really cool to watch. A lot of people find it entertaining and they do make good money. But in this episode, I'm going to read this article. It's from Gothamist.com. I'm going to read the article. That's why I'm wearing my glasses. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened according to the article, so let's go. The article says, our feelings on subway dancing have been well documented. We generally love when inspired people get a little funky, but hate when it becomes a big, dangerous congregation of sweaty bodies on the platform. But the break dances in subway cars are a whole lot better, and two of them felt the long arm of the law last week. The NYPD says Shamik Watson, age 20, and Andrew Washington, age 18, were arrested last Friday for break dancing on a crowded northbound A train around 12:30 in the afternoon. A plainclothes officer who was riding the train spotted the two, and apparently his heart wasn't moved by their dancing. Both men have been charged with reckless endangerment for dancing. A police source explained they caused a hazard to themselves and others around them, and made excessive noise by blaring music from a stereo. Alright, now needless to say, there's a lot of people pissed off in New York City, a lot of black people pissed off in New York City, and I'm telling you now, you're going to hear racism, racism, racism. You're going to hear it. I'm saying it's racist. I'm saying you're going to hear from people that it's racism. You are going to hear it. Just wait. And if you don't hear racism, which I'm sure you will, the thing that they'll say mostly behind that is like, oh, they just hate to see young people make it. They hate to see young talented people, blah, blah, blah. They just hate to see it. They hate to see it. And they're jealous because they get attention, whatever. But the first thing I want to say about this is, the reason, even if like the cop liked what they were doing, even if that everybody liked it and it bothered no one, what happened to them and the reason why they're getting arrested is simply because of the reason why they got charged. Is the biggest reason for it, why people are so anal about these things, is that people sue all the fucking time in America. And I have no problem with it. I have no problem with people suing. But the problem is, a lot of times people sue for when they're doing stupid shit. So if you see the kind of dancing these kids are doing, they're upside down, their heads facing the floor, all this shit, tell me you know for sure that if one of them fell off, broke their neck, they wouldn't try to sue the MTA. That happens a lot in America. A lot of people sue for shit that they know they shouldn't be suing for. And a lot of them get away with it. So if I owned the MTA, I would want all of these guys arrested and charged because I don't want anyone doing it so they can sue me in the end. That's just business. That's being real. All of those guys, on a business sense, according to the MTA, they have to go to jail. So they have to tell the cops to arrest them. They have to. That's their job. Because soon as one of these guys get hurt, or maybe 5 of them get hurt, maybe 1 out of the 5 is going to be like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue. Get paid. I'm going to sue. Now, this isn't a black person thing. This isn't a white person thing. It's just a lot of people in America sue, but I like it. I usually like it. Let's say 70% of the time I like it because it keeps companies, it tends to make things safer for us, You don't want anything, if you own a company, you don't want people getting hurt. You want to reduce the odds of people getting hurt as much as possible. So therefore things are stronger, so you most likely won't get hurt because if you get hurt, they get sued. So, I feel for them. I do. It's cool what they're doing, and a lot of people say, oh, there's no jobs. Look, I understand. Everybody out there saying there's no jobs, I feel what you mean. I feel you. I feel you. But at the same time, I just want you guys to know you have to understand why these people will always go to jail. when a cop is doing their job, because the companies can't have that. They can't have the risk of being sued. They can't have it. I'm saying, if you were the owner of the MTA and you know you can influence cops who patrol your stations and stuff, what would you tell them? Make sure if you see anyone breakdancing, arrest them. We don't want to get sued. Who wouldn't do that? Like, just being logical, who wouldn't do that? Now, maybe what these guys are doing ain't a good idea, but I'm not saying the MTA doesn't care, because you know what? If you're a New Yorker, you know that at the station, Union Square Station, you know where a lot of trains go, the N, the R, the Q, God, I miss New York. But like a lot of trains go there to that Union Square Station. There's this one spot where I guess people, and they have it at other stations too, but there's this one spot where you could like rent a space and you're able to perform, whether you're a band, whether you're a bunch of dancers, whether you're a singer, you can rent, or you're a juggler, magician, whatever. You can rent that space and do what you do, and no one's going to harass you. Everyone knows of this. So that's another thing that's kind of against these guys, because they didn't rent the space. You know, not a lot of people like it, and I'm not hating. I am not hating. I'm just being logical, because you know what? The problem with most people is, when they see things like this, they don't think about it on a business level. People got to start looking at things more on a business level, because that's what runs America more than anything else, is business. You got to understand that. So who's surprised that some kids hanging upside down on the MTA trains going to jail? Who's surprised? Or being charged and being fined, whatever. I'm not saying they should go to prison, but you know, they should be in some kind of trouble. Who is surprised if you think about it from a business aspect? That's what runs America. America is a business country. You know, that's what runs it. You know, a lot of people in Russia say, America is not a country, it's a business. I know what they mean, and I pretty much agree with it. It is a business. It's a great business. And America is probably the best country in the world at advertising itself. A lot of people believe, and you know, I think so too, that Germany is just as great as America, more or less, but Germany is not that great at advertising itself like America is. America is the #1 advertising in the world. I don't care, like the vast majority of countries you go to, even here in Russia, you see people wearing American flag clothing. And it's not even so much that they love America, it's just the fact that America's good at advertising. The flag is attractive, it grabs attention, that's all a part of the advertising. We want you to love our country. But I'll get to that another time. But yeah, I mean, I feel for these dudes. I feel for them. I'm not hating on them. I don't want people to think that. I'm not hating. I feel for them. But from a business aspect, it's obvious why they got arrested, and I can't get mad. I wouldn't protest it. You know, people sue for fucking anything. People even sue. They sue the Board of Education a lot of times for millions of dollars for shit they know they shouldn't be suing for, and that is so fucked up. You know, that's taking money out of kids' education and shit. That is fucked up. I'll get to that in another episode. That's basically it, man. Keep your head up, dudes. Wait, let me say their names just in case they watch this video. Keep your heads up, Shamik and Andrew. You know, you guys are talented. I advise you to rent some space or something, because you can do that and you can make your money that way. So, or do it outside where a lot of other dancers do it and they don't get in trouble. But on the train, you're going to catch it. You're going to get in trouble. The MTA is not trying to let anybody sue them, and you should know that. Look how expensive it is for one ride in New York. And that's basically it. And I'm out. Later.